Hello again, everybody. It's Todd Staruch, the horror nerd, here at the inaugural Catastrophicon at Reid Castle in upstate New York. I am having an absolute blast today. I have met a ton of great vendors and artists and TV and film actors. Just having a great time, and it's about to get better because I have the pleasure of standing here from Friday the 13th, Part 2, Mr. Bill Randolph. Bill, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good.
Yeah, having a good time. Fun convention, beautiful place. So, it's a lovely day in the neighborhood.
Nice. I agree about the venue. You know, most of the time these things are in a hotel, ballroom, or something. This is an honest-to-God castle.
Oh, yeah, with real chandeliers.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it has been a fun day.
Yeah.
So I saw your panel earlier, and you said something that kind of stuck with me, because I'm just a fan at heart. You said Friday the 13th is, for you, is the gift that keeps on giving. And just elaborate, please, if you would, a little bit on what you meant by that.
I mean, I think that mainly it has to do with the fact that they now have so many conventions that, I'm fortunate enough to get invited to, because I really feel like the interaction with people who have seen the movie and enjoyed the movie, it makes it so much more real for me. And I enjoy it. I just enjoy being with the fans. I enjoy the conventions, and I'll do them anytime. Give me a call.
Fantastic. And speaking purely as a fan, I always get a thrill at meeting people. I grew up, I'm a child of the 80s, so I grew up with these movies. It never, ever had occurred to me that I'd eventually get to meet people from the movies, right?
Yeah. And certainly, again, that's, the gift of the conventions. If we didn't have these conventions, we wouldn't have the opportunity, you wouldn't have the opportunity. And so it's a win-win situation.
Exactly. So on your side of things, when you're making a movie, did that ever occur to you that, 3 decades later, people would still be lining up to meet you or to, talk about the movie?
Absolutely not. In fact, at the first screening, the first time I watched it, I was there with my agent, and I turned to him and I said, well, it's not going to do me any harm. And, 40 years later, now I call him up and I say, hey, you know what's going on, pal? and he says, where's my 10%? So, once an agent, always an agent.
Right? Right? Maybe I need to get me one of those, or maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. So now as I said to you just before we started recording, I'm also an indie filmmaker.
Yeah.
I've been in a few films. I actually enjoy getting killed in a movie.
Oh, okay.
It's happened a few times. I enjoy the makeup.
Yeah.
I enjoy the pop it gets from the audience. For some reason, they like to see me get killed. Well, I don't know why. I don't know what I ever did to anybody.
Are you into therapy because of
But, so, obviously, for a lot of people, they've told me I got killed in a Friday the 13th movie. It's kind of a badge of honor.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel?
Oh, absolutely. It's the coolest thing ever. And the thing that's also fun is that whenever we do these conventions, not only the fans' reactions, but also the fact that I'm able to see cast members, that I don't normally see. A lot of them are on the West Coast or, and so it gives us the opportunity also, to revisit each other. Because we had a great time when we made the film, and it's terrific to be able to see, not only the fans, but we get to geek out on the cast members also.
I always like to ask that question when I do an interview. Do you ever have like a fanboy moment where you're like, wow, I actually get to meet, X or Y,
Yeah, and I'll tell you, at one point, probably my biggest fan moment was I did a television series in the 80s called Trauma Center, and Jack Bannon was on the series with me, and he was at the time married with Ellen Travolta, who is John Travolta's sister. And one time I was over there having dinner, and John comes over. And it's one of these deals where, I had no idea. He knocks on the door. He comes in the door, and it's his sister and whatever. And, so it's just family. And my knees just were like, oh my Christ, it's John Travolta. And the thing that's amazing is that he had an aura about him that just took over the room. And that was my biggest fan geek moment of my life.
That's great. I love hearing stories about that.
It was just so totally unexpected.
That's a great story. That's cool. So Bill, obviously we're at a horror convention, but I do know you played Jesus in a production of Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah.
And I love that musical. So what just if you could just share a little bit about that experience for me.
It was magical. Certainly I loved the music before I did it. And, we had a full 64-piece orchestra. And, if anybody knows the Waikiki Shell, essentially it's just this, big white thing in this huge field. And, not only, all the people that came, and it was a good production. And, the only thing that scared me was that when they actually put up the cross, when I was, nailed to the cross and they put it into place, I felt like it would just keep on going over and I would end up falling flat on my face, which of course it never happened, but that was, another interesting moment I never expected to happen.
Right.
But yeah, it was terrific. I had a great time, and we had a good cast, good production.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, Bill, before I let you go, tell us, what are you up to these days? Anything new you're working on?
Well,
what's life like for you today?
Here we go. Ron Milkey, who's in part one, he is now directing films, and he just sent me the first part of a script that he wants me to do. And so, sometime in August, when hopefully by the end of August when I'm free, he's going to direct me in a film.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that because Ron is a blast. He's a very fun guy.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to meet him a couple of times, and you're right, he's a very nice guy.
He is. So that's kind of what I'm up to now.
Good. Bill, thank you so much for a few minutes of your time. I truly appreciate it. Do you have any final words for the fans out there before we wrap it up?
Yeah. Don't take anybody's truck without them knowing it. They can get really angry.
Words of wisdom. Bill Randolph, everybody, here at the first ever Catastrophicon in upstate New York. I'm the horror nerd Todd Staruch signing off. We will see all of you in the next interview.